Well, it's funny because, the old saying that they say that God made us in his image, and that's what we do. I mean, we've been trying to create technology to simulate an experience. I mean, ever since, the old arcade games. Now we're at the point where we have this HTC Vive, which you put on your head, and you're in the game, you can turn your head and see stuff. But admittedly, it's very, very low tech when you compare it to ultimately what we're in. So we're playing games within a game within a game within a game.
Yes. Some people call it a game. Some people call it a dream. It's just terminology. That's why I don't like to use vocabulary, because you use one vocabulary word, a third of people think of this, another third thinks of that. So that's why I like to paint pictures. Suddenly people go, oh, I get it. You start talking fractals, they're like, what? What's a fractal? Now we've gone backwards in communication and having you understand anything. So in this craft, they invent everything, they create everything, they manage it because you ask them to. Let's go to 3D terms. You gave them money to get on the ride. They're managing the ride you're on. If you want to look at that in a 3D perspective of what's going on.
Is there any reason why they didn't give me a life with a lot of money? Like, why was that not in the...
Well, here's the cool part about that. You chose the ride. You chose what you were going to do here. But guess what? You're not stuck in it. This is the beautiful, beautiful part, is on this level, because now the clients that I bring to this level, they've gone all the way out here, and they have an understanding that, this is where I made all these decisions about my crappy life that I'm having right now. I'm tired of this. I want to change it. So I show the clients how to go and access their life right now, this physical body in this 3D that you're thinking of, and if you pinch it, it hurts. This one right now, and I help them find where that is being managed. And they can do it in several different ways, whatever's most comfortable for them or makes the most sense. But I have them either talk to the entities that are in there managing them and tell them, hey, listen, I made a big mistake. I had no idea that this is what was going to happen when I got on this ride. And then you can either tell them, hey, I don't want to know, just something fun, throw it at me, or, hey, this is specifically what I want to change and what I want. This is the place you go to do that, to change what happens on this planet to you, this plan that you made. So I'm not going to tell you guys that over here you made a decision and I don't know what to do about it. No, I'm not going to tell you that exists until I have a way for you to fix it. So that's why I kind of came out and started telling people, is because I figured out how to fix this. So on this level, think about this. I'm going to read this poem, and I'm going to be a sovereign being, or I'm going to write this contract. First of all, if we're writing contracts, that's a 3D thing. If you want to visualize and manifest in 3D, you better write it down. Because when you write something down, you're spelling, you're doing all those matrixy things that make stuff work in this reality that we're sharing. But if you're going to make changes outside of 3D, don't write it down. Don't write down, this is a revocation of, I'm revoking my contract. Okay, you're writing something down, you're still stuck in 3D. You're never going to revoke anything. Start outside. If you want to go outside and make changes, don't write it down.
Okay.
All of these, and along the way, you have chosen in this experience that you chose, there are aliens, interdimensional beings, all those other things that have no name, and I can't remember, and I don't care. I just see them, and hey, Fred, I don't care what you're called. Because when you get outside of what we call the matrix, which is kind of a portion of, when you call it the matrix, the whole thing is a matrix. God, if you want to call it that, said, hey, I'm bored, I want to do something. So everything's fabricated in a hologram. But we call what this portion of it inside the universe that we're experiencing right now, that's what I'm calling, the matrix.
Okay.
So this is our omniverse, and down, right down to the level that us and the listeners are sitting on right now. What you're describing is is essentially a simulated universe, omniverse, multiverse.
A much more advanced
Everything's
No Man's Sky.
simulated. Yeah, holographic, simulated. You know, it vibrates lower, it feels more solid, vibrates faster, feels less solid.
And you say that it seems to be part of a technology that is being operated on a level so far beyond this simulated experience.
Correct. Yes, correct. So inside
it's
of
interesting
this,
that they have found in the equations that cutting edge string theory and this kind of thing, that buried in some of those equations are things that look identical to certain computer code we use. In particular, computer code we use for the transfer of data from one place to the next, and the program that they've teased out of this equation very particularly seems to be the one that checks back and forth to make sure that there's no translation errors from one place to the next when the data moves.
TCP/IP?
A very basic form of that, yes.
Okay, so we we went in a very, it's an interesting thing, especially like I'm just sitting here thinking about it now, and I just started playing this video game called No Man's Sky, and it's essentially this universe that's mathematically created, and all the planets are different.
And when you're far away from something, there's very little definition, and the closer you get, the more precise the algorithm gets to draw the terrain features.
There's like literally, I believe 18 quintillion different planets in the game.
You can visit in the game, and multiple galaxies and all this, and so it was very interesting that just released a few days ago, and here we are talking to you about that right now.
In real life.
That's funny, but just remember that they're seeing this from our perspective. Once they move off this planet, let's say, into the next planet, it looks completely different, and they see something completely different than what they're seeing now.
Okay, so
that's from our reality we're creating. This is what we're seeing. Over here, if you shift over here to someone else's reality, they see something completely different. Everybody's playing a different game.
The man in my brain with a dry drink can't listen to his cries and screams and won't swallow the sun and burn all his lives with the devil's grin.
So at that top level, what are we?
Energy, pure energy, just on a higher level of consciousness. You know more. You're functioning on a higher level of awareness.
So when we die, are we just released out into this?
Our pod opens and we pay the circus attendant and go on our way.
Oh, I'm sorry. No. when you die from this 3D body, there's a trap waiting for you. They call it the tunnel. What they do is you go in this tunnel. They are basically having source, God, whatever you guys want to call it. That light is shining through that straw or that tunnel. So they attract you like an insect to the light, because it's like, Daddy, I'm coming home. Woo! You get all excited, you feel it, and you know what it is, and you're like, and then you just don't think, because they get you when you first wake up, and then they get you in the straw, and they've got a type of technology basically to capture you and store your consciousness and your soul. Your consciousness, that part I call God, and your soul are two separate things. The soul is like a suit. You could throw it away and get another one. The consciousness, or that white part of God inside of you, spirit, whatever you want to call it, that lives into eternity and is part of what I call God, or the big glob, that there's nothing else past that. I don't know how to describe God any better than that. But you've got this big thing that goes, hey, I'm going to break myself off into tiny little pieces and have all these awesome experiences. That a little piece of that is inside of you. So we are on that level up there. you are okay and equal to everything in that craft once I bring them to that level. So now they're out of their body, they're able to access and change everything. When you get outside of that, just almost immediately, it's you go to a place that most people are like, oh my gosh, it's black, I don't know where I am, I'm lost, oh my gosh. I say, okay, you're in the right place. And they start to feel what it is. I have them try and guess what it is before I tell them. But that part is the Godhead of the cell. Now, you've got the Godhead of the universe, which does something similar. I explained this one. It's just the same thing, only it's of the universe and not the cell. The Godhead of the cell, when you turn around, all of a sudden you see a pupil, an iris, and the white part of the eye. And you're like, oh my gosh, it's an eye. that you're looking at an eye. This is the first place I've seen an eye. I'm not saying it isn't anywhere else. I'm just telling it from my perspective, my experience. This is the first place I saw the eye, and I looked around. I didn't see Illuminati anywhere. Everybody has free access in there. When everybody goes, no, none must come in. No, what's the password? I didn't have any of that. I got right in. This is where, if you want to think of what we're doing inside the cell as a video game, this is the place where the software is inserted. The software is the Godhead. So in the software, you have, I'm equating this to a video game. Let's say you have 100 levels in the video game that you're playing. In your video game, I mean, maybe there's some out there, but you can't get to level 21 from level 2. The video game will not allow you to do that. It forces you to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you have to have all these experiences as you're going up. That's how you create time. You're forced to have these experiences in a row. So let's say we're on level 7 in this cell. We have played the game, and here's the software program. We're on level 7. Wait a minute. We're not to level 8 yet. That's what we call the future now. Level 6 was the past. Now, level 8 is the future. What's going to happen in the future? I want to look because I want to have an advantage. I want to find out where they hid all those secret weapons. Where's all those trap doors? Is someone going to jump out from behind something and kill me or scare me? You find out everything that's supposed to go on in level 8 before you get there. So when you get to level 8, you know what's going on, and you have an advantage over everybody else when you do that. And some ones, not naming any names, went, this is going to happen. We know how humans are creator beings, so let's put it in the Bible. Let's put it here. Let's put it there. Let's train them to create this reality we want, because we know all these things that are going to happen. I take people just like you to this place and show them, here's the information. You have access to this information the same as they do.
So to clarify it, just to put it in perspective for listeners, what we're saying is that there's a group of people that are here who have access to this software, we'll say, and they can actually go in and they can program into things that we're going to see here on Earth, whether through the Bible, through media, through whatever. And because we're all exposed to it and we see it, we make these things happen.
Yes, and then we create it, and it's to their advantage. So all I'm doing, I don't force anybody to look at it. It's like, here it is. If you want to do it, do it. If you don't. But it's my job to show you where it is. This levels the playing field. Now we have access to the same information they do, and on this level, we know who we are. We know how powerful we are, and we can make change.
So is this the Illuminati that? That's the word that gets thrown around all the time. But the people here who are connected up, they have access to this thing. Is this the Illuminati we are referring to that, pulls the strings behind the curtains?
Because so many people have kind of a weird view of what the Illuminati is. I say Illuminati just to talk about the concept, but it's on multiple layers. You've got actual human beings that are involved with this, and then you've got some on this planet who are not human, but they're in human-looking bodies, either physically in a human-looking body, like their spirit and soul gets put into it, or they have the type of technology where they can exist just the way they are and project an image that everybody sees. And that's even so realistic you could shake their hand and not know that this is a projection, and it's not the real entity that's actually there. So you've got those. Then you get up another level, and you've got like interdimensional beings and all that on the next level. So these are all working together. So you can't point your finger at one group. So when you say Illuminati, what the one above us, the one in the middle, the one down on our level, what are you talking about? There's control everywhere you look. Everybody's got the fingers in your pie. You know, and that's what I teach people to do is to get rid of all this crap that they put inside of you for your chakra system, all these things that they put inside of you to keep control over you. We get them out. Suddenly we have sovereign beings. And they know they're sovereign. There is no doubt. This is how you get your sovereignty. Is you see all this crap, you find it, and you get rid of it.
So how do we get rid of it?
I've kind of found, because I was removing alien implants. These are etheric implants. I was removing those and went, holy crap, that's there. Oh my gosh, that's there. And that. And oh my gosh, the chakra system is an implant. So I looked and I discovered all these things. And I've got really simple methods that I work one-on-one with people to do to help them to remove these things. I take doing psychic work, if you want to call it that. Everybody out there has a 17-step program. I mean, you look around and, to do this, you have to do 17 steps. And if you skip one, it doesn't work. You know, people are overcomplicating things. Some of them just want to make money. So we've got this going on to where everybody thinks this is really hard. No, this is our natural state of being. Being on a higher level of awareness is actually natural. What they've done to us is not natural, but we are led to believe that, birds born in a cage think that flying is an illness. That's kind of what we've been led to believe. There's a really, really simple and easy way to get rid of all this. Anybody can figure it out on their own. That's how I figured it out, was by experimenting, and it worked. so you can just remove them any way you want. Just look and go, okay, what's going on? Let's take that out, send it to source.
So can you give an example of how, say right now, I wanted to remove some of those shackles. Is it something that you can...
One specifically, we'll take one. Just what is one of your shackles? Do you have a block that you put it there in place? Do you have a program running from your parents? Do you feel like there's something going on inside of you that I don't think this is me? I think there's something else. So what would you want me to look at to help you remove?
That's a good question. I'm trying to think now. Why do I not have more money? Why do I not have more success? Okay, well, I work...
Okay, well, let's just look at that, because it starts with an email. We're here in this 3D planet. Everything ends up being something physical that you do. So we'll start with that. We've got a behavior that's going on. We're going to find out where this is coming from. Might be an alien implant. Might be programs running from your parents. Might be a program running from school. Or a random movie you watched when you were 12. There's all kinds of places this can go. So what you're going to do is you're going to close your eyes.
Okay.
And you're going to have an awareness of your body, because there is a location for what is going on in this behavior. So just first, in your body, where can you locate? When you just think, however you word it, I'm having money issues. I'm not happy with my current situation. Where are you inside my body? You can just ask. This is intention, and it shows itself to you.
Okay, do I have to ask it out loud?
You can ask it in your mind. You're talking to yourself. That's what you're doing.
Okay.
So you talk in your own mind. I'll be quiet.
Okay.
So where do you feel it? Where are you drawn to on your body first?
I'm trying to focus on it. I almost feel like it's more in my stomach, and I could be totally just imagining things now. But if I had to guess, I feel like it's down around that area.
Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of serious. I'm looking. I didn't want to look at a lot of stuff. I give people a lot of privacy. I put up a lot of blocks where it's none of my business. I don't want to look until you want to tell me. So I just allowed myself to look in your stomach area, and I'm seeing 2 or 3 things there. So let's kind of get the first one going. What you're going to do is focus in on your stomach now.
Okay.
You're going to go to that place called imagination. We're just going to test to make sure it's working okay. Think about, let's say, your refrigerator. Can you see it in that place I call imagination?
Yep.
Okay. In that same place, you're going to be looking in your stomach area. So in that same place you just saw the refrigerator, when you look in your stomach, what do you see? What shape and size and color is that in your stomach?
It's a dark red, probably some purple or dark purple in there. Could be really bad Kool-Aid.
Oh, okay. Well, congratulations, you just remote viewed. Okay. So you just saw what was going on. Is you saw the energy of it. Because at the end of the day, it's all about energy and removal of energy and manipulation of energy. So when you can do this in multiple ways. Everybody's different. You can get your that to read it or get a feeling about it. You can just tune into it. What is the first thing? And if this gets personal, just go, okay, code word, blue, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Just think personally go, oh, either let's stop so we won't forward, or I was just talking in code. Because I don't want to reveal, anything about you that you don't want revealed to your audience. So what is the very first thing that comes to your mind? The very first thought is what it is.
Hang on. I'm focusing.
Okay, it doesn't matter how crazy it is. What you're going to do is just allow the information to come to you. Whatever it is, just say it. It doesn't have to make sense.
Okay. Let me think. Negativity, maybe?
Okay, there you go. You're going to look again in that same place. There's going to be a face flash. You're going to see it for 1 second, and it's going to go away. Tell me whose face that is.
I don't know. It kind of looks like a statue. Like, what flash for me would be similar to if you looked at those golden statues in the pyramids, or not the pyramids, but the kind of statues they made over in Egypt, the golden ones.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it reminds me of.
Okay. Did you see a female face?
I think it would be male, but shaven.
Okay. This, I guess, what we might need to do this like off the air, because I'm starting to see some things right under that. There's a female face in there that it might get into some issues you might not want to talk about.
Okay.
So I just want to see if you want to continue down this path, because it's going to get pretty deep.
I won't do it live then. God only knows.
Okay. I guess it's there's a program running underneath it, and you're hiding that from yourself. So you're putting some things in the way to hide you from what's underneath that.
Okay.
And truly what's going on, but it's there, and you'll easily be able to access it when you're not on the air. You can relax.
Okay.
And we can talk freely because it appears that there is a program running from, I don't want to say who I suspect. I can tell you off the air who it is, because I don't know what this person looks like. In your life.
the process that you're talking about here sounds like it's a form of almost remote viewing into our own, looking under the hood at our own framework to see what programs are running on our operating system, I guess.
Correct. And when you look, it distracts you from thinking too much. When you're sitting there looking around, you're looking at energy and you're feeling instead of thinking. So you feel what's going on, and instantly you access the correct information. But a lot of us hide a lot of things from ourselves, and that's what I help people do. Let's get this first layer. Let's just get it out of the way. Then let's go down one more layer. Oh, let's get that out of the way. And sometimes deep, buried deep down inside, you do it. So let's just get rid of this, for starters, this statue-looking thing.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and get rid of that, because we can't get rid of the first problem until we get rid of that it's blocking you from knowing what put it there in the first place. So what you're going to do, you're going to look at this statue-looking thing, is the way you describe it, and you are going to take that and drain all the color out. Let me know when it's out.
Okay, that's kind of cool. I'm desaturating it, just like Photoshop in my mind.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Good. Anytime you see color, there's emotion there. And even if it's good and positive emotion, you need to get all emotions out to be able to work with things better. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take that. There's many different ways of doing this, and this is in that place called imagination where you do all of this. You can take your imaginary hands, grab it, take it out of your body, and then with your imaginary hands, put it into what I call Source, the creator of this universe, whatever you want to call it. You can imagine Source as maybe a golden ball or a golden sphere. And because there is no such thing as time or space outside these bodies, Source can be 2 feet away from you. It can be a purple puppy. It does not matter what you imagine at this point. I call this the voodoo doll effect. Whatever you do to the voodoo doll, you're actually doing to it. So it's just a substitute. So I have it a foot or 2 away from me, so I know it's going to get in there. It's not going to take forever. So go ahead and remove it with whatever technique you want to. And you can tie an imaginary rope on it, pull it out, just whatever works with your mind. We're getting you down to 1 step. And this 1 step is just the visualization. We're going from 17 steps of someone else's routine and ritual down to, okay, you know how to do all of this. You're psychic, you just forgot. When you have a visualization that you make up and you work with it, you forget that you forgot, and you just do it. And you just do it. And you're like, whoa, I just did something imaginary in my head, and it actually worked. The next step, after you've done it 4, 5, 6 times, you don't need the visualization anymore, and you're just doing it. You want yourself to get to the level of, someone goes, oh my gosh, how did you do that? And you say, I don't know. That's where you want to be with your psychic abilities, and you get there when you eliminate all these steps. So go ahead and remove it from your body. When you do, put it into Source for recycling. I don't want to decide what happens to all this stuff. None of my business. I'll let Source sort all that out. And let me know when you feel like it is completed.
I've done this at least a dozen times. Just while I was listening to you talk. So, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of way back, over a decade ago, because Ron used to meditate, and he showed me some stuff that he did. And, getting rid of, negative energy was a lot of visualizing, the blackness coming out of your body and just going away. So that's what it reminds me of. So it's a lot of, I guess what you're... Your mind is a very powerful thing, so it's all mental. It's all because your body is just a vessel. Is that?
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's why I'm saying it's all about energy. That's how you take emotions out of your body. The emotions are located in your soul. Your soul contains your emotions, personality, and all the other things that you need to have an extraordinary experience on this planet. When I look at someone and I see their spirit, I call it a spirit stick because it looks like a literal stick going through their body that's white. That's a little broken off piece of God, if you want to. Not Source. Source and God are completely different. Source, since there's something past this universe, obviously that's not God. But so that big glob, that's all of us. That's what I call God. So you've got that white energy going down the center of people's bodies when I look. And around that looks kind of like a cocoon. It tends to be more gold than other things on people, kind of like a chair. Every chair is different, but you look at it and you go, oh, that's a chair. That's kind of how souls are. They all kind of look slightly different, but you know it's their soul. So it's this cocoon around people of like a golden cocoon is what it looks like. The emotions look like... they're about 6 to 8 inch balloons. Here's a red one, blue, gold, purple, orange, black. And they're situated, when it comes out of the factory, basically, it's like, hey, I want to go have an Earth experience. What do I need? Go over there and stand in line. You need to get a soul. Okay. You're standing in line. It's like, here comes the next batch from the factory. Yay, yay. And you get your soul. Well, the factory settings for your emotions to have the proper experience in this video game is for all your emotions to be located outside of your physical body. They're not supposed to go in there at all. For you to experience it properly. What has happened is through society. What are guys told? Don't cry. Well, where do you put that when you need to? You pull it in your body. Why do you think so many men have heart attacks? because it usually gets down kind of about the throat, kind of right below in the chest area. When they're not able to cry, when they're told to be a man. That's a false sense of what a man's supposed to be, by the way. But where do you put that? You start to school. I don't care what your problems are at home. Sit there, shut up, and do geometry. So where do you put those emotions? You pull them in your body, because you don't know how to deal with them. Nobody taught you how to deal with these emotions and where to place them and where they're supposed to go. Then you get a job. What do you do at a job? You get yelled at. You get called names, and you have to sit there and take it. If you want to keep your job, you sit there and you take it. Well, where do you put those emotions? You pull them into your stomach. You pull anger into your head. That's why people lose control, is because they warp and twist this soul, and it's not functioning properly, and they will pull anger in their head. Holy crap, how many times have you pulled anger into your head, and all of a sudden you started acting on emotion, and you just destroyed everything around you?
Oh, plenty.
Yes. So there are people who have anger problems that have been to therapy, all kinds of stuff. They can't control it. I teach them in 1 to 2 minutes how to take that energy, the emotion, which it's just energy, the emotion of anger, take it and remove it and put it back in its factory setting. I teach people how to do that. Suddenly, all these people that have been out of control, not able to control themselves, when they put these in the proper place, everything functions properly. You still feel them. People are like, no, I want to feel them. No. You still feel sad. You still cry. You still laugh. You still experience the emotions, but you don't live it. That's what it says to be an observer in this video game. Live life as an observer, and people go, I've tried, I don't know how to do this, because they've got all of their emotions in their body. You take them out of your body, suddenly you can experience this life differently. You have control over yourself, and people start doing extraordinary things because suddenly they're not having to fight themselves all the time. This is a very practical thing that you do in another dimension to take emotions out of your body now to function properly in this video game. So it's society, and remember the levels of Illuminati, if you want to call them Illuminati. They have done all of this. There are hackers as well, yes, that get into the software program or the Godhead, and I could teach you guys how to do that, to go and hack the software program and change it. I teach people to do that too. Either go access the information or go change it.